We want to thank you for taking this next step and applying with RSMC. Our intended parents are very thankful and appreciative of the generosity of all of our donors. During this video, we're going to go over the entire egg donation process. It's going to be a lot of information, so please feel free to watch this video as many times as you need. Okay, so the first step in the egg donation process is the application. It's going to be an online questionnaire. Once you complete that application, you'll hear the results of your application from us, whether or not we'll be able to move forward and if egg donation will be a good opportunity for you. Let's say you're accepted, then we can officially move forward to the matching process. What happens at this stage is that you'll go ahead and you'll meet your support staff here at RSMC Physician Surrogacy, which will include your egg donation team coordinator on physician surrogacy side, as well as your IVF coordinator, part of the clinical side, or RSMC. So once you get introduced to your support staff, we're going to move forward to the matching process. At this point, your primary contact person will be your egg donation coordinator. We have our intended parents who are here to choose a donor, and then we have our intended parents team, who we often refer to as the IP team. It's the job of the IP team to go ahead and try and match you with intended parents. So once your coordinator reaches out to you to confirm all the information on your application and to make sure that you feel fully educated about the egg donation process, your coordinator will go ahead and build a donor profile page for you. This donor profile will be used to help match you with intended parents by the IP team. As your egg donation coordinator, our job is to make sure that we build you a donor profile page that features your very best characteristics. So we strongly encourage you to follow the guidelines that we'll provide to you when we ask for photos or more information, and just to see how we can hopefully get you matched quickly and start moving through the process. So at this point, let's say that you're part of the matching process. Once we find out that we have a potential or a confirmed match for you, your egg donation coordinator will reach out to you via text message, phone, or email, whatever your preferred method of contact is. At this point, this is when we can really start the egg donation process. So once you're matched, the very first step is to bring you here to sunny San Diego for a medical pre-screening appointment. At this appointment, you'll get a chance to meet your support staff in person, become familiar with RSMC and physician surrogacy, and get a good idea of what this whole donation process looks like in person. We'll go ahead and coordinate your travel and your hotel stay and make sure that you arrive here safely and that you're sent back home safely that same day. For that medical pre-screening appointment, it's less than a 24-hour trip, so you don't have to worry about work, school, or any other commitments. We'll make sure that your appointment works with your schedule and that we can honor your flexibility as much as possible. After your medical pre-screening appointment, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for those results to be processed, at which during that time, you'll just be in contact with your egg donation coordinator to make sure that you're having all your questions answered, and if there's anything that we can do to support you further, that we stay in contact during that time. Once we receive all the results from your medical appointment and you're all cleared to move to the next step, we're going to go ahead and run a background check on you. So after those 2 to 3 weeks of waiting for those medical results, once we receive clearance, we'll go ahead and take the next 2 steps simultaneously. While we're running a background check on you, we're also going to put you in contact with our psychologist, who will conduct a psychological evaluation to make sure that you are fully informed of what exactly this egg donation process entails. Once we receive that psychological evaluation and you're all cleared to go to the next step, what we'll do is we'll have you start the legal contracting process. At this point, we have an attorney that represents you as the egg donor and a second attorney that represents the intended parents whom you're fully committed to. Your attorney will reach out to you to make sure that you fully understand everything that you are legally responsible for and legally entitled to. Depending on how long it takes for all parties to be satisfied and to sign the final contract, you will continue to be in contact with this lawyer as well as your egg donation coordinator to make sure that all correspondence is going smoothly. Once the final contracts have been signed and all parties are satisfied, now we can really move into what we call as your in-cycle calendar, which means the definitive start of your donation process with us. As part of your in-cycle process, there are 2 different types of medications that we'll be having you take. The first one is birth control pills that will be completely provided by our clinic. The second type of medication is what we call stimulation medication. These medications are self-injectables, but don't worry, we will provide you with detailed instructions, emails, and video tutorials to make sure that you feel fully comfortable either administering the medication yourself or having someone whom you trust to administer it for you. The period of this medication will go on about 10 to 12 days total, leading right up to your retrieval. And while you're taking these medications, we'll be having you go to a clinic. If you're outside of San Diego, then we'll find a local clinic near your home that's convenient for you. And if you're in San Diego, then you can come visit us for every appointment, just to make sure that your body is adjusting well to the medications and that we can be sure that you're still going to be a healthy candidate to go through with the egg donation. So after about 1 month on the birth control pills, and then a few weeks of outside monitoring appointments, those ultrasounds, and just making sure, as we mentioned earlier, that those medications are adjusting well to your body and vice versa, then we'll go ahead and we'll bring you here to San Diego for the retrieval week. Now, the retrieval week itself can last anywhere from 4 days to 7 days. Just like that first appointment with us, we'll go ahead and we'll coordinate the travel and the hotel, and we'll also make sure that you have a companion or a support person who can be there to accompany you and to take care of you as you go through those appointments and you ultimately go through that retrieval procedure. Now, on the day of retrieval, you'll come to our clinic here at RSMC, and the retrieval procedure itself is only about 15 to 20 minutes, but since we will be putting you under anesthesia, we'll have you stay in our clinic for a total of about 2 to 3 hours just to make sure that you're recovering well and you feel ready to go back and get some rest for the rest of the day. And the day after your retrieval, we'll go ahead and send you back home wherever that is, and we'll continue to check up on you just to make sure that you're recovering well. If necessary, we'll also order some post-retrieval monitoring appointments, again at that convenient local clinic to you or here at RSMC, whatever works best, just to make sure that you have a full and speedy recovery. As for your compensation, this exact amount will be set between you and your donation coordinator during the beginning process of applying. From there, we will issue you your compensation checks at 2 different places. The first one being at the start of those injectable medications, which is part of your in-cycle calendar, those 10 to 12 days of injectable medications, will give you a check for $750. Now, the rest of your compensation will be delivered to you on the day of your retrieval by your egg donation coordinator. So by the time you go home after retrieval, you'll have received the entirety of your compensation. If this all sounds good to you, then you're ready to move to the next step and be an egg donor here with RSMC. We're excited to work with you, and thanks for your generosity.